Michael Meegan, welcome.
Look at this.
Wanted to get your live reaction. Didn't tell you about it.
I was going to say, I did not even get a sliver of a hint that this new background update was coming. Wow, this looks pretty spiffy, my man.
I was in the lab this morning, dude. I was in the lab hard. Like you said, you texted me about an hour ago, and we're like, Jets versus Jaguars today. What Grateful Dead album do you want to review?
Yeah,
and we had to do something to make the show a little better.
Exactly. Yeah, this is maybe an interesting matchup. Maybe thought to be at the beginning of the year. Maybe thought to be, a month into the season. Now the Jaguars seem to be going in one direction, and the Jets seem to be going in the complete opposite. Just if we're going off the past couple weeks of football.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Jaguars are what they are. Good season. Not sure they're turning around the franchise muck all just yet, but like this is how you started at least. And really, since the Jacoby Myers trade, that's kind of when they spiked this year, and things have been moving in the right direction since then. So, I would still classify Trevor Lawrence as a disappointment as compared to what he was thought to be coming out of college, but they're squirrely this year. And the difference this year with the Jaguars is that their defense is legitimately good.
Yep.
Like it's legitimately really good. And I think that's a shock even in first year of Liam Cohen. I thought everybody, was like, he'll fix the offense, but man, they're tough on defense.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the defensive coordinator they hired, the thing about Liam Cohen's staff, and I got to double check the position coaches, and maybe he had a luxury, maybe he had more suitors and had more leverage, but I don't think he has a single former head coach on his staff. Like his offensive coordinator, I think, is my age. I'm pretty sure Udinski is we're about around the same age. And then his defensive coordinator, I think, was the linebackers coach for the Bucs last year. And I have to pull up his name. I do want to pull up the staff, but they've done a great job. They forced so many turnovers. That pass rush has been good. They got rid of Tyson Campbell to get Greg Newsome on the back end. Their secondary's fine. I don't think it's anything to write home about, but they turn over the football. They are the exact opposite of the Jets defense in every way.
Yep.
They cause havoc and they force turnovers. The Jets cause no havoc and get no turnovers.
They had a span earlier in the season where they had gotten like 5 picks in like 2 weeks or something, right? And we just I think we talked about it at the time, like, oh, it'll be nice when the Jets start getting those, and here we are. Week 15, still don't have one. And like, it's not like they're above the line in fumbles either. Like they just have nothing. There's just nothing happening on the Jets defense. And for as like some of the numbers will tell you that the Jets pass defense is better than it appears on the surface. But like at the end of the day, you have to mix those numbers with the eye test. You can't just look at a spreadsheet and say a unit's good. I'm sorry. You can't.
Yeah. No. And also, when you're looking at, the Jets pass defense, if you believe that, sure. Brownlee's out. AZ Thomas, hurt his shoulder last week. Did he get put on IR? I was completely lost in Jets line last year. Did I miss anything noteworthy with him, or is he playing today? Because I know his shoulder's been banged it.
I believe he is shut down. I don't know if it's officially, but I think what we heard was that he will not be playing again this year. Yeah, and I'm not sure if we're supposed to say that or not.
Well, no, it's more my point that I don't think he's playing in this match. Like, if you can think the pass defense is better than anyone, in that way, but without Brownlee, without AZ Thomas, Sauce is gone. Like Brandon Stevens has, steadied himself, but he's one person. Like that's one corner. Like Stiggers is probably going to have to get on the field today.
I'm here for that, actually.
Yeah,
he's a fan favorite.
Yeah. All right. They're all saying that in the chat that he is on IR and done for the year. So if they're saying it, then I guess we can say.
Yeah, no, it's believable. Just full disclosure, we were all together. All the Badlands people were together this weekend. And so you never know like who's saying what, where it came from. And I didn't do the back work and see if he was actually on IR or not. So that's on us.
Yeah. I got a text. We were talking about his shoulder in the group chat yesterday, and I was out. So I had no idea. I was like, oh, I guess he's on IR now. We'll see.
Did you go to Smith and Walensky last night?
I did. It was Meg's 30th birthday, dude.
Happy birthday to Meg. That's what a fantastic spot for a birthday.
Yeah, dude. That is a hell of a place. Hell of a place.
Feel right? You go porterhouse for 2?
Always.
Love it.
Always.
Love it. All right. Well, we got our first Jelani Woods question. Which
no, Jelani Woods will never play ever again. He's going to get cut. He'll probably be in the NFL next year, and we all remember where we were for the Jelani Woods inactive gate.
This might be the best running bit of the year for us, I think, actually, is me just getting mad every week that Jelani Woods is inactive. So I'm with you, Yoshi. I want him to be active too. Like, let's see. Or cut him. I'm good either way. I don't need him to be active. I just need you to make a decision and stop having Jelani Woods be on the roster for no reason. So let's get into this. Let's start with the hottest topic in all of sports right now, and that is Fernando Mendoza. I know you were out last night, but did you get it? I think the speech was like 6 minutes long. Did you get a chance to catch any of it?
Absolutely not. Did not watch. I saw a bunch of people thought it looked like it was rehearsed. I did see the part about him speaking Spanish, which was an homage to his grandparents, which was very touching. But also, this is a great comment. I do want to put this up in the chat before we go into Mendoza. This is an excellently accurate report.
The best part about this comment is that Roger Saffold is so unforgettable that we could have called him Robert for the whole show and nobody would have noticed.
No one would have known. No one would have cared. Yeah. Oh God. The Roger Saffold era. Who remembers? But I caught the speech. I wasn't surprised by the voting. It was a very underwhelming. This is not a shot at Mendoza. It was just a very underwhelming Heisman class. Like, you just look at not even from a winner's standpoint. Like, if you just look at some of the old pictures where it's this used to be the 3 or 4 players, and a lot of that is due to the new clock rules, how the clock runs in a way that it didn't a couple years ago. So for safety reasons, they shrunk the clock rules so these games would go quicker and you could start rolling clock earlier. So teams have a hard time putting up as gaudy numbers. So maybe that's something to do with it, but this felt like a very lackluster Heisman class. Like, if you're arguing for Mendoza or Pavia, I just feel like I can't be mad either way about who won because I just think it's a pretty weak field.
Yeah, I would just say that based on what the team did, you have to give it to Mendoza.
He should have won before.
Yeah, not an argument. Yeah. Especially coming from Cal and just all of it. You take all of it together and it's open and shut, right? And I will say, I'm not going to fully change my tune here. I'm actually not changing my tune at all. But I watched the 6-minute speech and I was like, okay, a little better. Not a lot better, but a little better. It seemed like there was a better job at it. Did it feel rehearsed? Yes, but of course it felt rehearsed. He prepared a speech because he knew he was going to win. He should have rehearsed it. The funniest comment I saw, and I think Max sent it last night, was Fernando Mendoza is the smartest kid in 8th grade who does his presentation without looking at note cards just to show off that he can memorize things. And I was like, man, that's actually spot on. That's exactly what it feels like.
Oh God,
But he leaned into some underdog themes that I thought were good for him. It's a better message to push than the message that he's been attempting to push in interviews, I think. And I thought it was good for him. He did this whole when people doubt you thing, you don't have to listen to it. And I never thought this was possible. And here I am. And so he leaned into this underdog story that I think will resonate a little bit more with people. At the end of the day, none of this matters.
No.
The only reason that the personality matters for us is because New York is a different market than other places.
Correct.
Right? If you're thinking about this in Las Vegas, you might not be as concerned, right? But for us, it's a conversation that matters.
No, honestly, if you live in Las Vegas, you want your quarterback to be the most milquetoast human being alive, because at the end of the day, there's distractions in Vegas that don't exist in other cities.
Yep. 100%.
So, this is probably makes it more endearing for a team like Las Vegas, who, if we look at their last 4 games of the schedule, it's kind of hard to see them winning another game. They have. I'm pretty sure they have the Eagles today. I know they play the Broncos again. I know they have to play the Chiefs again, and I'm pretty sure their other game it might be Houston. I think it's not easy in any way, shape, or form. So I am of the belief that is the team who will have the number 1 pick, and that is who will probably take Fernando Mendoza. And the Jets, it's a little bit like Cam Ward last year, we're like, yeah, could you trade it for Cam Ward? In theory, sure. Actually, I forgot. The Raiders play the Giants.
Yeah, Eagles, Texans, Giants, Chiefs. So that Giants game in between Christmas and New Year's is like that's the tank.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like Jackson Dart's the quarterback. He's gonna want to play. Even if it's not Jackson Dart, Jameis will play, and Jameis can't like not turn it off. And Kafka, like for better or worse, wants to try to keep that job. But yes, I 100% agree with this, that he's going to be the Raiders quarterback.
If Mendoza punches Geno out of the starting job, then I think I might actually be like, maybe I was wrong about Mendoza.
We'll say.
I meant to say this at the top of the show. Happy Hanukkah. Today's the first day of Hanukkah for those who celebrate out there. Snowy morning. But yeah, I meant to say that. I obviously wasn't going to put it in the rundown, but happy Hanukkah. Mm-hmm. So do you want to linger on Mendoza anymore? Or do you want to try to hop into analyzing this game?
Let's analyze this game because it's going to be a lot of analyzation. Let me tell you that.
So the Jacksonville Jaguars have, I think I'll double check this while you're talking, but I think they have statistically the best run defense in the NFL.
It's the Patriots.
The Jets have a competent run offense, I'll say, but anything that is on paper about the Jets' run offense is now null and void because you have Brady Cook at quarterback. And so not only is everybody expecting the run, but everybody's going to load up. They're going to try to pressure the quarterback. And so I think you can kind of throw that out a little bit. So what you have here is a weakened offense that was already pretty weak going against the best run defense. And the only thing that this offense can do fairly well is probably nullified in this game. So do you suppose that the Jets, and I saw somebody put in, we'll have to verify if this line is real, but if there is actually a line out there for Isaiah Davis, 8.5 rushing yards, I would say that's a take for sure. Yeah.
I also would take the Brees over 13.5 receiving yards because that's basically like a screen pass.
Yeah. Yeah. Both of these are excellent if those are real lines that are out there. Yeah, but I mean, do you see the Jets being able to get anything going on the ground today, or is this they try to establish the run for 4 quarters, it never happens, and anything good that does happen is going to be Brady just chucking the ball up?
I think you're going to see a lot of run pass today. I think, and Brady Cook is probably good. The Jaguars are a very opportunistic defense, and the offense can't throw the defense out of the game, because the defense can lose this game on their own. Like when we talk about the flip side of the ball, which do I think the Jets can stop the Jaguars offense? My answer is unequivocally no. And the offense can make it harder for them. Like if you give the Jaguars even 7, maybe even 10 points max off turnovers, they're going to cover the spread.
Yeah.
So, like, I think this is going to be a conservative game plan because the Jets kind of have to have it be. Because also, if Fields is shut down for what we think, and if Tyrod's actually hurt, like you can get away with how Brady Cook played last week. He can't go full Peterman, throw like 4 picks in this game, and then trot him out again. Like you kind of almost have to. I said there's 4 games left. Like, people are going to be checked out as it is. You kind of can't have like a Brady Cook, like complete meltdown, and maybe, keeping the gun on safety is the way you do that.
Yeah. I think the quarterbacks today are Brady Cook and Adrian Martinez, right? Didn't we hear that earlier in the week?
Oh, yeah. Tyrod said, I don't know how serious his injury. It wasn't serious to put him on IR right away, but that's probably a week-to-week thing. And Fields, we know what's really hurting him, so.
There were some good stories. I mean, we'll save it for the Brady Cook segment, where there were some good stories that came out about him this week. I mean, as much as you want to talk about an undrafted rookie free agent quarterback and try to spin some good out of it, but we'll get to that when we get to it. I actually want to pause the rundown right now because there's a topic that was put in the chat that me and you talk about all the time and we disagree vehemently on. So let's talk Phil Rivers.
My goat. He's winning this game. You know it's happening.
I would not put it out of the realm of possibility that something funky happens just because pro sports are funky. And it is what it is. But I mean, an over-under of 152 is garbage, first of all.
It's gonna pass that by halftime, dude. Do you want my honest opinion of what's going to happen?
Yes.
I think the Seahawks win the toss and they're gonna defer. So the Colts get the ball first. Him and Steichen have a perfect script lined up, march down the field. Phil Rivers is like 6 of 7 for 62 yards and a touchdown, and everyone loses their minds. And then they score like 3 points the rest of the game. Phil Rivers might not make. I think he will pass over this because I think the Seahawks can get up on there, and the garbage time element for this also has to be baked in. So that's also why I think 152 is like worth like.
You're assuming he makes it the whole game, though.
I think he will. Like the thing people like, he can't move, and if he gets hit too many times, he's gonna fold, like into dust. But people forget Phil Rivers. Like this is the point of having a quarterback who's played so much football, is that they also know that.
Yes, but. And here's my big but that hangs over all of this is like every single quarterback that was once great, they don't gradually slip away. They fall off a cliff.
Correct.
They disappear overnight. And so you saw it with Aaron Rodgers, you saw it with Peyton Manning. I don't know if we ever really saw it with Tom Brady, which is frustrating. Like he kind of like he that last season he wasn't unplayable. Like it was actually still okay. But these guys fall off a cliff. And so my question is, does him being gone for 5 years like change that? Or has he fallen off the cliff in that 5 years and now we're just going to see it for the first time? Or does the rest affect it?
Because when he last played, he was not Peyton or Rodgers. Like he actually like that Colts team made the playoffs. They gave a good Bills team everything they could handle in that wild card game. I still think it's the closest 2-7 wild card game we've ever had since they put the 7th seed in. Like I don't remember that game is normally a blowout on every side every year, and that game was actually, I think the Colts covered the spread. That game was actually right to the bitter end. So like he wasn't washed on the field, but yeah, in a 5 years time, when in 2020, like. We that's basically 2 presidencies ago at this point. To quote
my favorite measurement of time, of course.
Exactly. To quote Will, like always use presidencies as a measurement of time.
Yeah, I mean, another great point here we saw with Brett Favre, where he just vanished pretty much overnight. Yeah. Like it happens to these guys, and I kind of, not that my opinion on Rivers has any bearing on today, because my opinion of Rivers is he's like I don't want to go so far as to say he's a compiler because he's better than that. That's not giving him enough credit. But I have an issue with Phillip Rivers being with LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates for 10 years and winning 1 playoff game. Like, I'm sorry. Like, some of it's on you as the quarterback. I know quarterback wins aren't a stat, but like some of it is on you to have that cast, to have that defense that they had for a while with Sean Merriman and who else? Rodney Harrison. Like, those were good teams. They won 1 playoff game or 2 playoff games in like 10 years. And so I don't have the respect for Phil Rivers that I have with some of the other guys that are in his class.
There we go. Nailed it. Beautiful point.
I don't think I agree.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. We watched some terrible quarterback plays.
Yeah, but we're talking about, and I'm the biggest Rodgers hater out there, but we watched 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. This is 45-year-old Phil Rivers.
Phil Rivers, hope springs eternal. Who knows? Phil Rivers isn't taking psychedelic drugs.
Yeah. Here's a good point about Chargers defenses. Sean Phillips, Quentin Jammer, who tweeted this week that he was shit-faced drunk for an entire season one time, which is like, okay, nobody asked, but all right.
Very good point. Phil Rivers played on a torn ACL. He would never complain about it. That's a fair point.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of good things about Phil Rivers. For me, the lack of playoff success is like, it's so damning. I can't get past it.
Yeah, Paul just models his life after Ben Roethlisberger, so that's really what we've learned from the past couple weeks.
So let's ask some people. Hold on, no, you can't say that and then just like swiftly move on. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. So Ben Roethlisberger, not a good guy. Definitely not a good guy. But, and I feel like this is an age thing. I feel like Meegs is just like a little bit too young to remember how scary it was to play Ben Roethlisberger in any kind of meaningful situation because no one could tackle him. He could not be tackled. And it wasn't like he was a big rushing threat. He wasn't Josh Allen. He wasn't going to kill you with 80 rushing yards or anything like that. You just could not sack the man. And when you can't sack a quarterback, it opens up so much because your DBs can only cover for so long. So there was a cascading effect to not being able to tackle Ben Roethlisberger that enabled him to rise above, I think, what his statistical stead was as a thrower of the football, and take his teams a lot further. And like, that counts for something to me, in terms of like all-time greatness. And so we'll move on. We'll keep talking about other things, but in the chat, I'd like some people to talk about just Rivers versus Roethlisberger. Who you got?
Yeah, Paul's like steadfast on this opinion, but we'll let it go. I mean, as soon as Ben Roethlisberger was asked to carry the team and his defense wasn't amazing, he didn't win anything. But who's to say? Who's to say? All right, trap game. There are no trap games with Brady Cook. Like, the Jaguars have jaguared harder than most people can ever think about jaguaring, but Brady Cook seems like a mountain too far.
It does, but they do have the top seed in the AFC next week, and that matters. We're going to bring in 3-10 to 3-14.
There we go. A man who's smart. He's got his priorities figured out.
So I think I have to switch the view here. There we go.
Hey, Paul and Meegs. First of all, good morning, and how are you?
Good. How are you?
Sorry you have the displeasure of watching the Jets and the Jaguars today. Here in Dallas, I get to watch Drake and Josh, which is actually a good game. So God bless you guys. I remember 2 years ago. First of all, I lived in Charlotte back then, so I had an opportunity. I had a friend of mine whose son played high school ball with Drake May at Myers Park in Charlotte. So I got an opportunity to watch him play. And I saw the talent there. So I remember 2 years ago when the Pats had the third pick, and the speculation was the Giants try to move up from 5 to 3 and trade a first, and the phone got hung up. And the Vikings try to move up, I believe, from 11 to 3, and they offered 3 ones, and the phone got hung up again. So all this chatter on 3 number ones, I keep hearing people, and people continue to get dumber and dumber. Okay, I keep hearing people who want to give up 3 number ones for the golden child of Indiana. And as you could tell, I don't know if you could see what I said. I would take, if Signetti was, I don't know if it says here, if Signetti came with Mendoza, I might think about it, but unfortunately he is not. Okay.
It's funny you say that, and I'm going to let you finish. But like, so our guy Max, who does film reviews for us, he was saying in the group chat last night that if you could take Mendoza's body and put Signetti's brain and attitude in it, that would be a home run.
God, he is unreal. And there's speculation that Sam Levitt will be their next quarterback next year in Indiana. I've been reading about that a lot. I live here in North Texas. I was hopeful that Drew Mestamaker would go there, but I think he's going to follow his coach to Oklahoma State. But again, Mendoza's a good kid. Seems pretty cerebral. You listen to him talk and you feel like you're in calculus class with him. But again, physical traits are another thing. And when I compare Drake May to Fernando Mendoza, it's night and day. Okay.
Yeah.
Drake May is the complete package. I worry with Mendoza about the athleticism. Again, I'm a diehard Iowa fan, so I assume you guys watched that game. What Phil Parker did to Mendoza in that game, sending exotic blitzes from the inside. He sent his safeties from the outside. The big interception by Zach Lutmer in the fourth quarter was due to an exotic blitz as well. So again, all this talk about 3 number ones for Mendoza or trading a number 1 for Mendoza, I'm worried that they're going to trade the 15th pick if the Colts get there, and you trade, in my opinion, a 12-year starting Mike in Sonny Styles. And that scares the crap out of me as well. But again, people don't realize that this is a rebuild. Okay. They are pretty much near the bottom. They have 8 picks in the first 2 rounds. if Muji is smart, he would rebuild this correctly and utilize the 2027 first round picks in 2027 and rebuild the roster smartly in 2026. So if they need a quarterback, they can go find one in 2027. So
yeah,
I'll let you go first, Meegs.
Yeah, I agree. And also, this isn't fair to Mendoza, but it has to be said for the Jets as building a team. You can't ignore that you share a division with Josh Allen and Drake May. Mm-hmm. And when you have a quarterback who plays the position well, but maybe isn't physically as talented as those two, like they're going to win the division this year. But if you were just looking at the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Chargers, if it was in the playoffs, would you feel confident in Bo Nix more comparatively? His team is much better than those others two. No. And like Herbert and Mahomes are as physically gifted as it comes. Like there's like when games get tough, and we'll see it in the playoffs, when things get close, your quarterback does matter. And I don't think the talent disparity between is like quite as deep, because I think Nix is like limited as a passer in a way that Mendoza isn't. But that's a real fear that Broncos fans are going to have, and you can't ignore who's in your division. You can't just pretend everything's in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Finally, I love watching draft prospects. I'm not as great as all you guys, so I commend you people. There's a kid in this draft that I fall in love with, and hopefully he's around in the second round, because I watched him a couple of years ago. Again, as an IO fan, I watched him at Purdue, and this year he's excelling at Oregon. So give me Dylan Thieneman in the second round. Mm-hmm. He is a guy that you plug in at safety, and he will be a star immediately. So the idea of trading a first and a second and giving up Sonny Styles and Dylan Thieneman and maybe Carnell Tate to move up for a guy who I think is Kirk Cousins. I do. Yeah. I think he's Kirk Cousins. And I think he has a 13 to 17 ceiling of quarterbacks in the league. So you're trading all those assets for a guy who might be the 13th best quarterback in the league is insulting to Jet fans, but it basically states the fact that Jet fans are impatient and they'll go in for the flavor of the month. And unfortunately, the flavor of the month was born in Miami, nearly went to Yale, then transferred to Cal, and now is put on a pedestal by the great Kurt Signetti. So I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for calling in.
Good talking to you, man. Bye. Yeah, I think that trading assets to move up to number one for any quarterback, really, this is not Mendoza specific. It's like getting a payday loan with high interest to like pay your electric bill, right? Like it might solve something short term, but you're not helping yourself long term. It's not the right plan.
At the end of the day, and the regime has to block out. I don't care if no one shows up to MetLife next year.
Yep.
I don't care if the owner has a problem with that. I don't. Like, the Jets have waited 15 years to see the playoffs again. Like, I'm not rushing it.
What's another year?
So the owner can sell tickets. Like, I don't care. Like, if what happened in the performance on the field cannot happen again, but if we have to go through another season of the Dolphins taking over MetLife because no fan wants to go, because the team is actually trying to take lumps to make this a sustainable product, I'm just gonna let them, because what's the alternative?
I agree.
Like what? You may be going 9-8 one year and then having to do a rebuild again. Like, it's nice to not. Yeah, like it's nice to not have the playoff drought be hanging over the franchise head. I've said it before that how important it is for the psyche is to break that. But no one's gonna feel that differently if you make the playoff once, lose by 30 points as a 7 seed on wild card weekend, and then 4 more years go by and you still haven't been back. Like, 15 straight years sucks. Once in 22 years also isn't good.
Yep. And I don't want to make it sound like this is the incorrect viewpoint, C-Gods. Yeah. Like, I don't fault you for being impatient after 15 years. Everyone I totally get it. Everyone should be. For me, it's just like, what's another one at this point? Like, what in order to do it right? Like, if the payoff is that you put it, if you delay it a year or two, and then you get it right, and they're good for the next 10 or 15, worthy price to pay. If you delay it 1 or 2 years and then you fumble it again, then that's a problem. Right.
Correct.
So it's an if this, then that type argument where like, okay, if you tell me that by delaying it a year, I can build something more sustainable, I'm all in for that. If you're just going to fuck it up again, then like maybe you do need to do something short term.
And if you like fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, can't put the blame on like the Jets constantly fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like there are people who believe in Glenn and Muji. There are people who don't. There are people who think that nothing good can ever happen in this franchise because of the Jets are the Jets. And not trusting the Jets, and that's why you're impatient, is a perfectly reasonable opinion.
Yep.
Like they have done nothing to earn that trust.
Agreed. I do just want to make a programming note that I heard you say that Bo Nix not being able to beat Mahomes or Herbert in the playoffs is a thing that you would not want, right? And I just want to put that next to your Phillip Rivers discussion.
That's not even close to what I
just
said.
It's just a minor programming note. That's all.
So just strict that from the record. My point being is when you go into the playoffs and your quarterback is as limited as Bo Nix, and you have to look at who's in his division, that it's always going to put a ceiling on your football team, regardless of how good your regular season record is.
I'm just saying.
Dude, you want to cape for Ben Roethlisberger all you can, man. I go for it. How many playoff games did he win with Antonio Brown? Like what, 2? Thank you.
I don't know. I don't have it here.
Thank you.
But I won't let you spread misinformation. I'll tell you that.
Yes. I was gonna put this up for all the Burrow. Like this is my impatience, not trusting the Jets. If the Jets can trade for Joe Burrow and Joe Burrow will waive his no trade clause to come here, I don't care what it costs.
I agree.
Like
I was on the fence earlier in the year. I'm now like I agree.
Like the Jets cannot say no to Joe Burrow. You can't. Like this is a mute point to me because I am thoroughly of the belief that Stafford rides it out into the sunset this year, and Joe Burrow does everything he can to try to get to the LA to play for McVay and play for the Rams, and the Bengals probably do that so they can send him out of the conference, and the Rams have that extra Falcons pick, so it's not like just basically trading 3 picks in the 20s for Joe Burrow. So there's at least like a match there, and I 100% think if Joe Burrow even gets to the point of getting traded, the Jets aren't going to be at the top of the list. But if Joe Burrow says, I want to be Joe Namath 2.0 and I want to play in a big city and I want to be the savior for the Jets, dude, I do not care what it costs.
Yeah.
You make it happen.
And there's a potential 3-team scenario too, where the Bengals can improve those picks by unloading another asset off to a team like the Giants and getting up higher in the draft. Like there's multiple ways that the Rams can improve those picks and build a better package for a better destination for Joe Burrow. So I don't think it's anything near set, but I think this comment that Seagat's made a little before the other one about how sad Joe Burrow is, like that, I think is what put me over the tipping point where I was like, all right, go get the guy. Because I think that a guy like that might get reinvigorated by New York City a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like there might be like oh wow, like so I think that's one. Number 2, if you're gonna do it, you need to pay whatever you need to pay to go get a top grade medical team for Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
like you need to make sure that he's healthy. You need to make sure he's getting taken care of in the best way possible. And like if you're gonna sink assets into that, do it all the way. Sink all the assets into it and make sure it works. Because I don't think that he has the infrastructure support in Cincinnati to keep him healthy in many ways. That means a lot of things. That means offensive line, that means support staff, that means facilities, that means everything. So like, if you're going to do it, make the investment.
Yeah. I really can't fault Jeffrey here. This is how you break. I think he means streak, but I like steak, to be honest with you. Just putting in the comment, I think it looks better. Vet QB, new DC, grass at MetLife. I mean, man's not wrong.
Yeah.
Man is not wrong. Also, Do you know what? You know what's weird, and I'm not wishing for this injuries to like happen. Do you find it very odd that none of the division rivals like ever have catastrophic injuries at MetLife? It's always either a Jets player or it's like someone who has to play there once every 3 years.
Are you putting the tinfoil hat on here?
I'm just it's just odd.
It is weird. Yeah. I'm trying to even think.
Like the teams that play there every year, besides the Jets, it doesn't happen to. But like the Niners, they've had multiple knees get torn up on there. Like I don't remember a significant Bills, Dolphins, or Patriots injury that's ever happened on MetLife's turf, which is just random.
Yeah, the Tyreek injury was in Miami this year.
Correct.
Yeah, no, I can't remember one. The Bledsoe injury was I think in New York, but that was not turf related.
Yeah, that was not turf related. That was brute force.
Yeah, that was Mo Lewis related.
Yeah, that could happen on 1,000 football fields. You're getting the same result.
Jake Dawson, I agree, dude. It's really frustrating, and not only to see that happen, but to have the people who are in charge of the Jets shovel shit into your ears and say and like, as much as I like Aaron Glenn, I'm a big Aaron Glenn guy. To hear, big ships take a long time to turn around or whatever that direct quote was this year. I was like, man, like, even if it's true, like, please, I just can't hear it anymore. Like, I can't hear it anymore. We had a previous regime that was talking about, for 4 years, they talked about how bad the team that was left to them was. And like, at a certain point, I just don't want to hear it anymore. So yes, it's frustrating to watch. It's also frustrating to hear.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up one thing in the chat because I don't remember if Jalen Phillips tore his Achilles against us. I didn't think that was us. I could be wrong.
I'll vamp for you while you're looking it up. Yes, you can ask.
It was during the Black Friday game. I think I forgot that.
Okay. All right.
Good point.
That's why the chat's here to check us.
This is a very good point, Paul. Why are you a big Aaron Glenn guy?
Yeah, it's not super logical. I loved him when I was a kid. I wore his number when I played junior football. I like, he was like my favorite player when I was a kid. Played the same position. I loved him, and I like that has had some afterburn for me. That's caused me to give him more grace than I think the rest of the fan base has, because I remember him playing here. I was heartbroken when he got exposed in the expansion draft. So that's a big part of it. I do believe, and as much as I'm tired of hearing it and I don't want to hear it anymore, I do believe that there is some Lions secret sauce in there about the way that he, like, his approach, the toughness aspect of it, the like no excuses aspect of it, the tough love with the players, where that was something that we didn't have with the previous regime. So there is like a little bit of logic, but I'd be lying if I didn't tell you it was mostly nostalgia based.
Yeah, and regardless of Aaron Glenn could be bad in his own right, but he's a complete deviation from the previous regime, and I think that mixed with his connection to the Jets is why he's gotten a longer leash than I think other coaches would have. I think that's fair to say.
And he almost burned it all up in the first 6 games, but I think it's rebounded a little bit.
Yes. Well, they're no longer calling for his job, so
yeah. Joe, how you doing?
Joe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are you?
We got a new. Did the Stormtrooper always have the Breece Hall jersey on, or is that new?
No, I put it on a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Did. The week who were we playing? We won the game. I guess it was the week we're going to play Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it had a Drew Allard jersey on week 1, but that's no longer on it, obviously. But yeah, very disappointed last week, right? I heard you guys talking about it a little bit, and obviously I listened during the week. I thought we were going to win that game, and I really wanted to win that game because I hate Miami so much, but it is what it is, and I'm still rooting to win today, even though I know there's really no purpose other than just feeling happier than I would be if we lost and I was miserable. But yeah, that's pretty much it. How much snow did you guys get? Because we got about 4 inches down here. That's what I was doing when I said
I have about 6 right now, but I have to jump in with some breaking news. Jelani Woods active.
Oh my God, we tempted fate.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Jelani Woods, the Jelani Woods game. Some are saying today in Jacksonville.
Dude, is Stone Smart going to get on the field? Are we going to see a Stone? We might have to bet Stone Smart for a touchdown today.
Taylor news? I didn't realize he was out.
Yeah, I think he hurt his ankle. I think this was this Jets regime is pseudo tanking. Like if we're keeping it a buck.
Yeah.
Like Paul said this earlier in the show that we had the Badlands guys met up for dinner this week, and I literally said, like, if this was the regime in 2020, I don't know if they were like bad enough coach wise to go 0-16, but once they got to 0-10, they were getting to 0-16 the way they've been operating. Believe they were not letting Sam Darnold beat Jared Goff or the Browns after all their COVID receivers were out of the game. Like they were going to finish that job if they got there.
I mean, God. Rucker touchdown, maybe? I don't know. Stone Smart.
Yeah. Stone Smart's got to get on the field. Or maybe Andrew Beck, too. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely a lot of Andrew Beck today. I mean, they need to emphasize rushing and protection. So Stone Smart and Jelani Woods don't really fit into that narrative too much.
Right. Give us like one 13 personnel staff. See if you can get a tunnel screen to Stone Smart. Tanner, I know you're listening. Obviously, I know you're big fans of the JetHeads podcast. But maybe throwing one tunnel screen to the tight end, especially in the red zone, it'd be nice. See if we can get him going.
Maybe we can get some Kobe King on the field today.
Yeah,
haven't seen him play yet.
Honestly, anyone can play a linebacker. If I never have to watch Sherwood again, I'll be thrilled.
Yeah, who was the NPC last week? Michael Walker?
Yeah, Michael Walker almost had the first pick of the season, which would have been the funniest. Actually, Joe, I'd love to ask you this question because I think me and Paul batted it around. Who is the funniest outcome for the Jets' first interception this year, in your eyes?
Who will it be?
Who's the funniest one?
Who's the funniest one?
The funniest one? Oh, God. Probably, honestly, probably Sherwood, the way he's playing.
Sherwood would be funny, yeah.
Sherwood would be funny. Probably like a touchdown to win, or interception for a touchdown to win the game.
Yeah.
So the tank crowd is like furious and, something like that.
But if you think the tank crowd's mad about this week, wait till we get to next week.
Right.
We're like, if they even open Garrett Wilson's window, if they don't run this quarterback duo back again, if it's not Adrian Martinez starting next week, if it's not Brady Cook, believe me, they're going to be out in full force saying the Jets need to do this or it's going to steal the season.
Do you think they open Garrett's window? I feel like they might.
It depends if Tyrod plays.
Right.
Like, if Tyrod was healthy, absolutely. Like, get him on the field. Football players play. Tyrod's not going to get him killed. It's veteran in there. Fields literally did his last time out, and we think Fields is done. I don't have that same trust in Brady Cook about keeping him healthy.
No, I don't either.
So that's more like if Tyrod's if that groin is just done, or if he told you his groin's done, that's when I don't risk Garrett personally. I don't know if you guys disagree.
Yeah, I was going to try to say something about making sure that you have a careful game plan for Garrett, but at the end of the day, you can't necessarily game plan against hospital balls. So maybe it's just prudent to just say, you know what, let's just not do this.
Yeah. To this point, if you asked me non-Tanner McKee related, what is my ideal quarterback room for the Jets next year? I think it would be Geno, Dante Moore, Case Keenum, Brady Cook.
Well, that's not what you said to me in your text with your official prediction. It was close to that, but Geno Smith was Marcus Mariota in that.
Correct. Yeah.
In that prediction.
Whoa. What I predict and what would be my dream scenario are two different things.
I don't know if this fan base can handle Geno Smith coming back here, honestly. We can handle anything, I guess. Maybe that's a stupid way to say it because we can handle anything.
Dude, this is what I'm saying. No, walk with me. Todd Bowles is going to be DC. Geno Smith's going to be the quarterback.
Just get the whole band back together.
Just get the whole band back together.
Josh McCown, quarterback coach.
Come on. Someone's got to fall on the sword in Minnesota for JJ's development, which didn't exist. So get Uncle Josh back here instead of Charles London. Get Todd Bowles to dial up some pressure and get Geno back in the thing. Like, how fitting would it be if Geno broke the playoff drought?
He looks so bad, dude.
It's the Raiders' offensive line. I'll die on that hill.
What do you guys think of Bowles' comments after the Tampa Bay game?
I was shocked he had that much emotion. Listening to Todd Bowles curse 7 times in like a 90-second clip was like shocking.
What's weird is that all happened the same week that we saw Mike Kafka curse on, like 1,000 times unnecessarily. And when Todd Bowles did it, it seemed you were like, oh, wow, he's fired up. That guy's cool.
Yeah.
And when Kafka did it, you were like, this guy's a little weird.
Yeah, Kafka was like, it was just like, oh yeah, this interim is not getting the job, and Todd Bowles was like, oh damn, like, because like if Todd's saying that to the media, imagine what he said to the team.
Oh my god, right. It needed to be. It was probably hell in that locker room.
Exactly,
and something's wrong with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, this is the last Brown season again. Like he is as an Emeka Buka fantasy owner whose season was ended basically by Baker Mayfield single handedly. He's just not the same player.
Yeah,
he's not. And I don't know if it's injury related. I mean, there was weeks where he was on the injury report with a knee and a shoulder. He was doing like the double injury thing. I think that's the Panthers division, man. Dave Canales can coach. Like, one of the things I learned this season is I don't know about Bryce Young. I don't know about that defense. Tet's good, but if you're winning a division with that roster, you have to be at least somewhat competent on the headset.
Yep.
Yeah,
all right, Joe, what is your prediction for today's game before we let you go?
I'm going with a win just because I like chaos.
Yes.
Yes. I like chaos. I'm going with the win.
I mean, if you're predicting, you got to bet the money line. What was it? What are they, plus 1,000 today?
I'm looking at it right now.
Is it really?
I think
I don't know, but I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
I'll filibuster for you because my favorite bet of today is Travis Etienne 2 touchdowns for plus 360.
It's plus 660 on FanDuel. Jaguars are minus 1,000 on the.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that's what I misread. Yeah, plus 6. I mean,
do it.
Honestly, and then just parlay that with Trevor Lawrence to throw a pick because if the Jets are winning today, he's going to have to throw one.
Pay for kids' college with that.
You know how much it would hurt though if we get the pick and they don't win.
Well, I mean, that's infinitely more likely. It would honestly hurt more if they won without the pick.
It would. Joe, are you still riding this ladder bet with me?
I am. How many are we on now?
I think this is 5 units. I thought this is the 5th week that Paul's been doing it.
We're on 5, and I'm not doing well. I'm not well.
No.
Meegs was talking to me this week. He was like, you could just say you're doing it. And I was like, I can't. I have to live by it because if it hits and I said I did it and I didn't do it, oh my God, I couldn't live with myself.
Right.
I just told Paul, I was like, you can do that. I won't blow your spot on the podcast, but you have to live with yourself. But like, I will that co-host has to do that because if we're betting 6-7 units, like you betting 6 units on Tyler Shuck is just like a 1-800 gambler. Like this is basically like a fucking like this is the scenario they put in their brochures. Like if you're here, brother, you got to call us.
That's right.
Because Tyler Shuck is probably going to be minus money to throw a pick because he's a rookie.
Yeah,
right.
Even like as bad as the Jets are, like any vet's going to be in the plus. Like May will be plus, Allen be plus, Tua was plus last week, Lawrence is plus this week. Like Shuck's probably their only opportunity where like if you win it, it's going to be like what? It's probably like minus 130. Like the payout's even going to be like a little less if it happens next week.
So I'll have to go 7 units to cover everything.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Penn Staters in this game that might score a touchdown. Brenton Strange.
He's a good player. I don't even remember him ever playing that well at Penn State, to be honest with you.
He didn't get in a ton because he was in between Freiermuth and Warren.
Yeah.
And Theo Johnson. So he was. I mean, he had like. Honestly, I don't even know if he started many games. He was just a backup role player that kind of stepped up at a couple key moments, but that was really it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had that white tight end run. Started with Gesicki, and you got all those guys now.
Right.
So, yeah. Which Gesicki's barely – actually, Max probably get mad for calling Gesicki a tight end because he's a slot receiver.
They had the old Giants tight end for a bit too, whose name is completely leaving my brain right now.
Who? Penn State?
Oh, sorry. I was on Jaguars. My bad.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. They had
you're talking about Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram. Yeah.
I think he's on the Broncos now. Yeah. Evan Ingram was good on the Jaguars too. He's much better since he left the Giants, which is just another symptom of them being the Jets but not wanting to admit it. All the players who leave you play well.
So Trevor Lawrence pick and Jets money line parlays plus 800. So yeah, I'm doing that.
Love that. That's a much smarter way to go about it than what I'm doing.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm also doing the latter.
Yeah. This is why we love Joe. Joe. This is how dedicated Joe is.
I'm riding with you. So it all started when we hit that one. What was that bet we hit earlier in the year? Meegs said something. I took it, and then it hit. It was
Could it have been the Ruckert touchdown?
It was the Ruckert touchdown.
Yeah, Ruckert was like plus 1,800, which we got like literally as time was expiring, which we will cherish forever.
That's right. So okay.
All right, Joe.
Thanks, guys. Keep it up.
Thank you for calling as always.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
This is a fair comment. Like, no offense to Glenn, but like hiring a DB as a coach and not being able to get an INT is just like a specific kind of Jets torture that only can exist with this franchise.
It's we need like the stat on the bottom line at some point during the game. That's like real hours since the last Jets interception.
Did they pick off Snoop Huntley or like how many games has it been?
I'll look it up.
Right. No. You filibuster. I'll look it up.
All right, I will. Let me come back to StreamYard here. I do want to mention that we have Jacksonville fans in the chat today. So welcome. Thank you for being with us. We welcome everybody. This is the third or fourth time we've had a couple of the enemy fan base hop in here. So we're happy that you're with us. Thank you very much. We are in y'all's house today.
That's true. Shout out the pool.
It's 70 degrees down there. I'm a little jealous of that. There's 6 inches of snow on the ground here.
Yeah, that's I don't know if I want to live in Jacksonville, but I wouldn't mind being in Florida at this time of year.
You know, I actually my wife has some family in Jacksonville, and I've spent some time down in St. Augustine. Is lovely, which is it's like a twin city with Jacksonville down there. Yeah. So yeah, dude, Jacksonville's huge. You can be driving for like an hour and a half and just still be in Jacksonville city limits. It's it's weird. It's weird how big Jacksonville is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I will. We covered trap game.
Snoop Huntley threw 2 picks on in the last game of the season. So that is our literal last interceptions. So it has just been the full whatever games.
So let's talk a little bit of Brady Cook, and then we'll get to the last 2 points here because we mixed some of this injury talk. We mixed a lot of these topics together. But Brady Cook, there's a story that came out about him this week about how he left a game in college at Mizzou to go get, I think they said, an MRI at the hospital, that's actually a wild story because an MRI takes a little while. It's a pretty involved process. You probably have to take your whole uniform off and he came back to Missouri. He came back to the stadium, came back in the game and won the game. And so there's a toughness element with this kid that I think we saw last week. He got stepped on towards the end of the game last week. He didn't even, not that he could have come out last week. Like there was nobody else, but I'm interested to just see not so much obviously the football player, but like the kid, right? Because there's a lot of qualities that make a very good NFL backup that you can see on display today from a person rather than a football player. And like the football elements of it are table stakes. Like you have to be that good enough to be on the field to begin with. Right. So, but I don't know. I in a game where like you're 13.5 point dogs, it's this late in the season, you're playing a good team and there's really nothing else to be hopeful about other than an interception that I have too much money on. It'll be interesting at least to watch like a potential long-term backup and be like, is this somebody that needs to stay around the franchise for a little while? So hopefully like the toughness is something that we haven't seen from a quarterback in a little while.
For me, and this is maybe getting off topic, but it's more about Tanner than Brady. Brady Cook going in cold turkey last game. Like, I'm not surprised they couldn't move the ball. I'm not surprised the offense. Like, now we knew Brady Cook was starting this game. Like, you've had all week to game plan. You've all week to pick his favorite plays, what he's most comfortable in, blah, blah, blah. Like, the entire game plan has been known because it has to be scheduled around Brady Cook. Like, we are big Engstrand fans. I think Badlands as a whole is pretty Engstrand positive. But Mike LaFleur could move the ball with Josh Johnson, could move the ball with Mike White, could move the ball with I feel like I'm missing another quarterback. No, Flacco. Well, I don't think he ever did. I don't know if he ever called plays for Flacco. I could be wrong.
Simeon?
Yeah, see, they were able to move the ball.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I don't know if Simeon had Hackett or not, but like every quarterback besides Zach Wilson, they could actually move the ball. The Jets passing game offense, even with Tanner, Fields is what he is, but like they're still averaging like 150 like passing yards a game. Like it would go down as one of like the lowest averages of the modern era. Like, so it would be a nice feather in Tanner's cap if having the game plan all week, can you just find your way into 17 points? You don't have to win the game. Just consistently move the chain. Like having 4 3-and-outs in the first half just isn't acceptable.
Yeah,
it's not.
There was a change.
I don't care who the quarterback is.
There was a change in Mike LaFleur. And not that I'm asking anybody to go back and watch the 2021 season, but like there was a change in Mike LaFleur when he realized that Zach Wilson stunk. And he started calling games differently. And there was a lot of Braxton Berrios end around passes. And like all of a sudden the play calling got extremely creative about halfway through that season. And like, I think that's essentially what you'd like to see from Tanner Engstrand is like, scheme something up, dude, because we're not just going to win straight up.
Like I hear you. I watch the film. I see guys are open. I see the design of the offense, which you don't need me to say this. A lot of people in media have commented and complimented. But you have Breece Hall as the easy button. You have the run game being what it is. You have A.D. Mitchell. You have Mechie. I know they got to catch the ball better. I'm not saying that they don't. But if you like against a good defense with Brady Cook, if you can find a way to not have 60 total yards at halftime and you're actually moving the ball a little bit, you get in the red zone multiple times, I think it'll go a lot way and be a nice feather in the cap for the OC that we think with more talent will be very good here.
Yep, agreed. All right, so tanking or auditioning, and I don't think there's a right answer. I'm just throwing it out there. A lot of this is injury related. There are players that need to be shut down. There are other players that are shut down that probably could play. And so I have this question now of like, is this intentional by the coaching staff to lose games and get better draft stead, or is it more about taking stock of what's on the roster and preparing for next season? Or is it both? It's
both. Like there is no reason to not like act like the Jets aren't aware of their situation with quarterback, where they sit in the draft standings. To act like Muji and Glenn haven't used any time thinking about that is foolish. To think that's all they're doing and this is a complete like covert tank isn't entirely true. They want to take stock in the roster. They want to take stock in the coaches. Like not every coach is going to be here next year. You know? Not every coach is. So they have to take stock in the coaches. They have to take stock in the roster, who they want to tender, who they don't want to tender, who they want to keep, who they want to let go. Like they have to take everything all and also like, does Brady Cook give you a better chance to win than Tyrod? No. But if Tyrod really can't play, I can't speak to the severity of his groin injury. Really haven't gotten a ton of information on it. That can happen. So I don't think they're fully tanking. Like, I guess I feel like this is more auditioning this week. If Brady Cook and Adrian Martinez are the quarterbacks next week, you have a very hard time convincing me that's not like a little more tanking than auditioning.
Okay. What about if it's Adrian Martinez start at some point? Will that happen?
If Brady Cook gets hurt, I mean, who else is going to play?
Yeah. All right. So gambling, I did go and look to see if I could get that Isaiah Davis line, at least on FanDuel. I cannot. They're not offering that, but I did find a Breece Hall receiving prop where 20 plus yards is actually plus odds at plus 130. So I might mess around with a ladder bet at 15 plus, 20 plus, 25 plus, and 30 plus, because that's essentially like 2 or 3 screens and if he breaks one, he gets through all of those. So I'm interested in that. And other than that, I have too many units on the interception. I don't know if I can handle anything else today. I know you have some Jag specific bets, so why don't you fire yours off?
Actually, it's now down to plus 350. I bet this morning, I bet Travis Etienne 2 touchdowns. They run the ball a ton in the red zone. Tootin fumbled last week, and the Jaguars completely put him in the doghouse. So I think this is going to be a heavy Etienne game. I can see Jacoby Myers has done wonders for this offense. Just having a consistent chain mover has been very, beneficial and very essential to this offense. I do like that. Also, I feel like Travon Walker to record a sack is also a decent bet because I feel like the Jets are going to let up a few sacks. I think Cook's going to hold on to the ball.
Yep, I agree. All right, that's our time. Kick it over to SNY with Connor and Steve and the gang. Thank you so much for joining us again. Blows our mind every week. The amount of people that are watching this stream right now, you people are sick.
Very sick. We love it.
You're just as sick as we are. So thank you, and we will talk to you on Tuesday morning. Leave us a voicemail.